Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while. Welcome back to Road to the Regionals. This is a series that, if you've never seen it before, and you're new to the channel, because there's been a few since I've been doing a lot more TCG videos. First of all, hey, what's up? Secondly, this was a series I started last year when I thought I'd be doing regional tournaments. Last year. For context, I have a notebook, so I know what to talk about. But more than anything, this episode is going to be more a case of like reviewing my last year, or most of a year. I didn't really start playing competitively till February of this year, and what plans are for the future. So yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? So my first year of live play, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. This is the first time I've ever played Pokemon cards live, in real life, with people. Not even since COVID, like, this was the start of all of it for me. I didn't know if I'd enjoy it. I played a bit of online back in 2017, and I, found it all right, but kind of bounced off it a little bit. I didn't really understand the meta and stuff like that. As you'll know him if you've seen these videos, Mr. Murdo.
I'm Murdo.
Has been trying to get me into the game for ages. His credentials include being good at the game and doing well in tournaments. Genuinely good player, love him, best mate. But yeah, he's been trying to get me into it for ages, and I started collecting back in October last year. Yeah, October last year. And I don't know what it was that made me go, you know what, I should get into the competitive side of this. I've always been looking for something to be into competitively. I can't do first-person shooters anymore. I'm too old. I can't react to them properly. Yeah, there's a few things I've tried in the past that I've just not got into competitively. So I thought, you know what, I'll try Pokemon. And I googled stores that do it nearby, and I was a bit worried at first because I was like, I'm not really finding anything. This is kind of bad. And then Geek Retreat opened in Hanley. They're a franchise, quite a few of them around. There's also one in Stafford, which is nice. But yeah, I got into them through just Googling, basically, and trying to find locals to play with. Started playing in February with a Leafeon VMAX deck, which I absolutely loved. I literally sent my friend Murdo a message and said, hey, you know me, I'm into grass Pokemon, what deck would you recommend? And he goes, well, grass ain't good. But I would recommend Leafeon VMAX, and I put the deck together and really enjoyed it. Then Fusion Strike happened, and Mew, and Leafeon was suddenly useless because Leafeon relied on retreat cost being a thing to actually do damage, so I swapped to Jolteon VMAX after that, and that was great fun. Absolutely loved Jolteon VMAX. I think it might still be my favourite deck I've played this year. If I was to do a ranking system, I think it might be my #1 deck. It was so fun, so fun. But yeah, I've kind of like progressed through the year. I've started paying attention more to the meta and stuff like that. As new cards came out, most notably Brilliant Stars, I got really into Arceus and playing Arceus. Felt like I did really well with that. Got a bit annoyed that, things kind of dropped off as well, like Jolteon kind of was shit. Leafeon never came back for me at all. Leafeon V-Star came out and thought, oh, maybe that makes a difference. Nah, it didn't. It didn't make a difference at all. So I played Arceus and Arceus-based decks for a long time. Then we swapped to Dialga for a little bit once Astral Radiance came out, which of the two, Dialga and Palkia, was like the worst choice, but I had so much fun with it. It was a ridiculously good deck. I seem to have a habit of picking the wrong deck when it comes to like two viable options in a set. Like I said, Dialga, Palkia. I went Dialga, and it was really fun. It caught a lot of people off guard, I think, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Then where were we? Lost Origins. I got into Lost Box. That was alright, but it felt really slow. Played a bit of Regigigas. Regibox, that was alright, but also a bit slow, and that was the first deck I started playing that I realised when you have a bad hand, you brick the start, you're kind of screwed. Like, it's got so much capacity to be a good deck, but also so much capacity to be a bad deck. That's not an expert opinion, that's just my opinion. I'm not good at this game. I've not even got a year's experience playing yet, but that's just my opinion on it. Then we're on to Silver Tempest, and Lugia is just everywhere at this stage. And I'll be honest, the current meta, I am not enjoying. I'm in a very fortunate position to have access to all three of the current top decks, as you'd probably describe them. All four if you count Regibox too. But I've got Lugia, I've got Mew VMAX, and I've got Lost Box. They're your kind of like three main ones. Other than that, you go in, anti-meta. And that's fine. That's not really something I enjoy doing, mostly because if you've got two targets, you kind of aim more towards one than the other, and it kind of compromises you against the other fight. I could be talking out my arse again. I'm no expert in this at all, but that's just the way I feel about it, so yeah, meta's in a bit of a weird place, but we've got rotation soon, so that's something. So yeah, talking about Geek Retreat, I made some new friends this year as well, which is a weird thing to be proud about as a 31-year-old man, but I'm not the most social person in the world. I don't know if that's ever come across, but yeah, I've ended up making with some really cool people. I'd like to give like personal shout-outs to James, Sophie, Mitch, and Josh, even though Josh, I'll phrase this correctly, doesn't play with us anymore. And he said no longer with us. That's not the case, technically, but he doesn't play with us anymore. He's in Australia, but still shows up for the streams. So I appreciate that. It's morning when I stream for him. So, you know, you get your breakfast, you get your cereal, you get your stream on, you go, yeah, and now I'm going to destroy a streamer because he's an idiot who can't play games properly. It's been a lot of fun playing at Geek Retreat, and I really appreciate the new friendships I found. And there's other people too. You know, I'm not going to individually shout out absolutely everybody, but there's been some fantastic people I've made friends with. And hey, thanks for being a friend, as the song would go. So yeah, how come I didn't do any regionals in the year of our Lord and Saviour 2022? Passport was a thing. Again, it's something I've already gone over, so I'll give you the footnotes. Applied for a passport in March, and it's supposed to take 6 weeks at the time. Long story short, between mail not getting delivered to me, I literally got 2 of the same letter arrive at the same time, dated in 2 different months. And some various other things. I didn't get my passport until August, so I completely missed out on, I think it was Stuttgart, which was my plan. Liverpool I couldn't get tickets for, and there wasn't really anywhere else I was looking to do. My first, like, proper competitive season in Pokemon, I wanted to do no more than, like, 2 or 3, just to get into it and then maybe aim for Worlds the following season. So we're into 2023 season now, even though technically it's 2022. But none of the things I'm doing are going to be until 2022, so we're okay. So Liverpool, we have tickets. We're good. We're fine. We're sorted on that. We've got accommodation. I'm driving up there, so that's going to be fun. We got accommodation with parking, which is always a win for me. I don't know about y'all, but like whenever I travel anywhere, I do have the option to drive most places. Unless I know there's like definite parking next to where I'm going, I don't drive. I always take the train or bus, so we've got quite lucky there. But yeah, we've got all that sorted. At the moment, I think I'm going to be playing Lugia. At the moment, it's a little bit of a toss-up between Mew and Lugia. I feel like I've had more luck with Lugia. Streams are kind of evident of that as well. I've been playing a lot more Lugia. But to be fair, I've been playing Lugia for like best part of a month now, whereas Mew I've only just got in the last couple of weeks, so maybe with a bit more practice, I'll enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, at the moment, I'm going to be one of those dirty people that play Lugia. Gross. Gross. After that, we're looking at Bochum. This is going to be a bit of a tight one because I'm trying not to order anything, you know, accommodation or flight-wise or anything like that until I've actually got my tickets. So I'm hoping they turn up in January. You know, registration turns up in January pretty quickly. And then after that, it's the internationals in London. Been quite lucky that the internationals for Europe are in London this year. So hopefully going to go down to that as well. At worst, I might just go down to spectator, because London's a bit of a, not my favourite place in the world, if I'm honest. But that's a 3-day thing in April, so yeah, looking forward to that. And that'll be like my 2023 season done. I'll, you know, check out Worlds, see what happens and stuff like that, and go from there. But I think at the moment, Lugia is going to be likely. Maybe I do Lugia and Mew just to get a taste of like both in regional play. Lugia and or Mew are going to be my Liverpool and Bochum decks, unless Crown Zenith introduces anything that gets a bit interesting. I've not seen anybody say anything too interesting about that. And then April is a very interesting one because we have our rotation for Scarlet and Violet on the 14th, which is the first day of the internationals. So we'll be running brand new decks. I've got 2 options, realistically. I can carry on playing Mew VMAX because I don't think it loses any cards in rotation. And if anything, it'll probably end up getting stronger because that's just how it seems to go for it at the moment. I don't know, you know, for sure what cards are in Scarlet and Violet just yet. I've not been doing too much research on that. But the other side of it is we go to a completely different deck with minimal practice. Basically, we can get 2, other than doing proxies and stuff like that, we can get about 2 weeks of practice in online. And that is Gardevoir EX. It's interesting. So I don't know if I go based on like a lot of theory crafting that I see on Twitter and things like that, and I've looked at it myself and gone, you know, that looks cool, I understand, blah blah blah. There's a good Curlier engine potential. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So at the moment, the current theory, as far as I'm aware, is you're playing Ralts, obviously, playing Curlier, and you're playing 2 different kinds of Curlier. One that has an ability called Refinement, which will actually discard 1, draw 2. And then the other one for 1 energy, lets you summon 3 Curlier onto the bench. So at the moment, I'm leaning towards trying that out for London. I'm going to see how it plays online first before, I get too crazy, because Mew's a solid backup if that doesn't work out. Awkward cut there. My girlfriend called me. I'm recording on my phone. Mew's a solid backup. Gardevoir doesn't do much damage by itself, but it's got an ability where you can recover 1 Psychic Energy onto a Pokemon from the discard pile. So I don't know if you want to, like, pair it with, like, Shadow Rider, Calyrex or something like that to begin with. I don't know. I need to do some proper looking into it. I've only seen, like, the bare bones idea of it, and I've not really thought too much beyond that. So, yeah, we've got some options. It'd be nice to be able to, like, swap it up and play something new. I'll say that much, because I really don't want to play Mew knowing it's basically been best deck, if not one of best deck, in format since February, March last year, basically, or this year. So yeah, as mentioned, there's only going to be 2 or 3 events actually competing in the 2023 season, and a lot of that has been motivated by the fact that Worlds is in Japan. I'm never going to have enough championship points to get to Japan for free, basically. No one's going to be paying for me to go to Japan. So I thought about it and I was like, there's no way I'm even going to attempt it, because just to get my girlfriend and I there plus accommodation, you're looking at 3 to 4 grand easily before you do anything else. And if you can't tell, my money goes on Pokemon cards, so I've got not a lot spare. So what we're really hoping for is 2024 World Championships are somewhere like easy to get to, easy to travel to, etc, etc. And we go for a full campaign there. We try and do as many regional tournaments and international tournaments in Europe as possible. If we've got the money, if we've got the time, maybe look at some American ones, but mostly focus on Europe. And see where we go from there. That's the plan. Whether it works out or not, we'll never know. Or we will in a year's time. So keep an eye on these videos. But yeah, this series, I'm going to try and keep it updated as often as possible. I don't think doing it monthly makes too much sense, but maybe we talk about any new deck ideas, or, I don't do too much in the way of, like, pre-recorded videos like this. A lot of my videos now are, like, stream VODs, so I do a lot of my talking and, out loud thinking there now. But yeah, this series, I want to keep it updated as best as possible. Probably talking about, like, I'll probably put a video out, like, before and after each regional to talk about what I'm planning on playing and what I'm expecting, my results and stuff like that. Go about it that way, maybe. Yeah, if you don't enjoy watching Pokemon be played, but you enjoy listening to the ramblings of a madman, the stream VODs are always going to be there for you. Trust me, they're good. I enjoy them. I'm really glad that people are watching them and subscribing too. I really appreciate that, so thank you so much. It's been surprising, because I've done an accidental, like, complete pivot on my streams. I was doing variety content, started doing TCG, and I was like, oh yeah, I just do that on Mondays. And just out of nowhere, it's like, every day I stream, I'm doing TCG now, so... But we need the practice, We're developing the skills we need for the Lugia deck. Maybe we start doing a stream that we focus with Mew. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But until the next one, guys, thank you very much for watching. All my social media links are in the description below. And, hey, if you enjoy this, feel free to like it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Didn't enjoy it? Recommend me to an enemy. Punish them with this video. But until the next one, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. See ya.